I kind of feel like slow cooker meals are like the definition of cozy. It's a time of year we are pulling out the casseroles and the slow cooker meals, and I've got 3 today that I'm going to share with you that my family absolutely loves, and they're super easy to make. The best thing about slow cooker meals is that you can just kind of throw everything into the pot and let it cook, and you can just kind of forget about it. But I also love that it just makes your house smell so wonderful. It's like the perfect thing to have on a Sunday afternoon, or put it in the crock pot on a busy Monday when you just want to come home from work and you don't want to have to deal with making dinner. And if we haven't met before, welcome. My name is Ange, and this is the Menu Maid. So first up, I'm sharing my slow cooker beef stew. Whenever I have beef stew, it reminds me of Sunday afternoons. My mom would always make a roast or some kind of stew in the morning, and that's what we would have after church. So this definitely takes me back to my childhood, and I love the flavors of this stew. So I start by cooking the meat in a pot first. This really brings out the flavor in the meat by doing this first. And then I like to cook the other ingredients in here as well. I do the onions, I'll throw in some spices and tomato paste. I have some garlic here. I always call this like the blooming stage. I really feel like when you do this in the pot before you put it in the slow cooker, it just helps bloom the ingredients and makes them that much better. I'll add in some beef stock, and then I'm just gonna scrape the bits off the bottom of the pan. I promise you this isn't burnt. This is a ton of flavor at the bottom of the pan, and you definitely want to scrape all of that up so that it goes into the stew and just makes it absolutely delicious. So we've added our beef to the pot along with some potatoes and carrots, and then this kind of onion jammy mixture that we had going on in the skillet. I've got some different spices here, and then I'll throw in a couple of bay leaves, and then we'll just top it off with some beef stock, give it a stir, and then I'll pop the lid on. You can cook this on low or high, just kind of depending on how much time you have. Obviously, the longer you cook it, the more tender the meat is going to become. And then about 30 minutes or so before it's ready to serve, I'm gonna just take out a little bit of the liquid. You can add whatever kind of thickener you'd like to it, some flour, a little cornstarch, and then we just add this back into the slow cooker, and then this is what's gonna thicken the stew and make it rich and delicious. And all you need is some biscuits, and you have yourself a fantastic meal. Next up, we have my island slow cooker chicken. This is probably the easiest recipe I have on my website. If you've ever had salsa chicken before, you know how simple it is just to throw some salsa in a slow cooker and add some chicken. But for this recipe, I use more of a tropical style salsa. You can do mango or pineapple. I'll add a little bit to the bottom of the slow cooker and then top it off with chicken thighs, but you can definitely do chicken breasts. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle some garlic powder, cumin, and a little salt and pepper. And just know that the chicken thighs, they come out so tender and they really add a lot of flavor to this dish. So that's why I like to use the chicken thighs. And then we're just gonna spread out the rest of the salsa over the chicken. We'll add a little bit of water, and then I'll pop the lid on and we'll cook this on low for a few hours. This is a great recipe to do on your busy weeknights. And then I just come home and cook up some jasmine rice, and I'll maybe make a salad. It just really depends on how I feel. And then we'll add the chicken and a little bit of the salsa over the top of the rice, and I'll serve it this way. And I'm always amazed at how yummy this is with just a few ingredients. So this is a new recipe in our home, slow cooker spaghetti casserole. We love spaghetti, everybody loves spaghetti, and it's easy to make, but this slow cooker spaghetti casserole is probably my favorite way now to eat spaghetti. No more babysitting the noodles on the stove or having to simmer the meat sauce for hours. Everything goes into the slow cooker, and it just becomes this beautiful marriage of pasta and meat sauce. It is absolutely delicious. So basically, I'm just cooking the meat in the pot, and then I just add the sauce and the seasonings. I don't need to cook this down or anything, and then we'll add half of the sauce to the bottom of a slow cooker that I've sprayed with nonstick cooking spray, and then we'll just break up some noodles. You can do this in thirds. I just did it in half just because I was lazy. And then I'll top the noodles with a little bit of mozzarella cheese, and then we'll add the rest of the pasta sauce. Smooth it out so it's in a nice even layer, and then we'll top it with a little bit more cheese. I like to do cheddar and mozzarella. Pop the lid on, and in 4.5 hours, you have the most delicious spaghetti casserole. I like to add a little bit of fresh parsley just to make it look pretty, but my family fell in love with this, and the leftovers were incredible. I cannot say enough about this recipe. It is so good. I'm gonna try it. Slow cooker spaghetti. So good, you guys. No, but seriously.
No, that's actually really good.
Like, I feel like it's like the best spaghetti ever.
That's really yummy.
I know. Well, I really enjoyed spending time with you today, and I would love to hear your favorite slow cooker meals, but I also hope that you feel inspired to try something new, and we will see you next time. Okay, hang on. Okay, ooh, no. Okay, hang on. Probably gonna do this 5 or 6 times.
Okay, restart. That thing is not a scoop.
Take 5. All right.
I was drooling.
I seriously can't stop eating this.